Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I want to shift topics a little bit and I want to talk to you guys about emotions in trading. And this is not really something a lot of YouTubers talk about, not something a lot of traders talk about, but it's really one of the most important things in trading. And so I kind of want to walk through you guys uh, with what I think about emotions, how to handle emotions, how to nearly eliminate emotions in certain cases with trading. So let's get started. I have some of the biggest emotional problems that traders have listed here. And so the first one is selling winners too quickly due to fear. And so I have a strategy, I didn't develop it or anything, but it's a strategy that's used by many people, and it involves taking contracts in multiples, at least two, or shares if you trade shares. And the idea here is that you want to take multiple contracts and sell half or some portion at the first resistance or support point once the trade starts going your way. And obviously, you want to have a stop loss too. And so once you sell this first half or first portion, you can't lose the trade anymore. What you do with the second half is if it goes back against you and you end up back at break even, then you just sell the second half and you profited on the first portion no matter what. And so this way you can't lose a trade once it's reached your first target. If it does keep running, then you can let that extra portion keep running and make you more profits, right? You can sell at the next target, maybe another fourth. Maybe you want to sell the rest at the next target. But this is how you have to take profits if you want to make money in the long run. If you're taking one contract, it's just not going to work that well because sometimes a stock is going to reach that first resistance point. It's going to bounce right back, and you're going to be stuck just hoping it goes back to where you could profit. And you have to treat trading like a business if you want to make money in this game, right? So I'm going to walk you guys through this Facebook chart today. I have some intraday levels marked from my previous video. You guys can see how I marked these. Anyways, these are the ones I had marked. And I saw Facebook kind of consolidating here in the early going under the previous day or over the previous day's low and the pre-market lows. And I saw that it might have some room up here to maybe fill this gap, maybe even get a little higher as it did. Anyways, I saw this consolidation pattern and I drew a trend line here and tried to enter around the bottom in this area. And immediately when Facebook spiked up here, this was my first resistance point. It was the high of the day. And so I took half my profits there. And then I was able to let this extra half keep riding. I never went back to break even down here. And so I kept letting this rest ride, and I was able to sell the other half up here for another 10% profit or something like that. Right? And if I kept holding another portion, this was my next level, then I could take another portion there. And my stop loss was the low of the day, and I knew that if Facebook got below that low of the day, I would take my loss. And that's just what happens in trading sometimes, and you have to accept that loss and move on, right? So that's kind of my strategy for profit taking, and that's a big way to eliminate emotions and to make sure you stick to those levels. Don't sell your winners too quick. Stick to every level you have mapped out and only take portions at those levels, right? So number two, many new traders, they add to losers or they keep letting their losers run. They let a winner turn into a loser and then they keep letting it run because they're hoping it comes back. And so I have a few things listed out here to fix that problem, to kind of eliminate those emotions as much as possible. The first thing, and this helps with all emotional problems in trading, it's huge. keep your position size as low as possible, right? 5% of your account or less. 1 to 2% is really what you should be doing. And I know everybody can't be doing that. Some people have $100, $200 accounts. I recommend people save up at least $500, really $1,000 before they really start trading, just so they can have this kind of position sizing. It helps so much with dealing with emotions. And trust me, when you have your position sizing at 1 to 2%, your emotions are very calm. You're not worried about taking a loss that's 0.2% of your account, compared to when you're in 50% of your account in a trade and you're about to lose 25% of your account. You're not going to sell because your emotions are going crazy. This is one of the biggest things that new traders do not stick to. And I really encourage you guys to try and keep your position sizing as low as possible. Excuse me. This will make your mind much more comfortable taking a loss. Like I said, you won't be hoping the money will come back because you've already lost so much, right? You'll be okay with taking that loss. So here's what you want to do. You want to calculate your max position size at the beginning of every day. Figure out your percentage. You want to do 10% of your account in a position. You want to do 5%, 2%, whatever you can do. I really wouldn't go over 10% though. So calculate that, write it down, keep it in your head, just don't forget it. And this is only at the beginning of the day. Don't do it later in the day, and do it at the beginning of every single day with your current account value. Don't ever go over this position size. I recommend, if you can't buy 2 contracts of whatever stock you're wanting to trade with your max position size, just don't take the trade. Wait for something that costs less. That's my personal advice. I think it will just make you trade better. If you make a profit in the middle of the day, do not increase your size for that day. That can lead to overconfidence. It can lead to increasing your size by too much. You'll forget about your initial amount. Keep your initial amount every single day. The next day you can increase it if you want to, right? You made $100, you can increase. Your percentage will be more, obviously, so you can increase. Just don't do it in the same day. It leads to overconfidence. I've been there. The only time it's okay to add to a loser is if you enter partial, and then the stock maybe comes down to another target that you could see a bounce at, and you want to enter, into a full position at that point, right? Don't start with 5% of your account if that's your max, and then be adding 5 and then 10 and then 15. It's going to go downhill. It's going to snowball, and you're going to end up losing all that money just trying to hope it comes back. You might get lucky once or twice. It's not going to happen again. Number 3, overconfidence and lack of confidence. These are 2 things that come with winning and losing. And again, the biggest thing, limit your position sizes. If you make 1% of your account, you're not going to be that happy. If you lose 1%, you're not going to be that sad. When you are gaining or losing 50%, 100%, 200% of your account in one day, you're going to lose money. I guarantee it. You can get lucky once or twice, not 3 times. It's not going to happen. You're going to end up losing money. So limit those position sizes. Another thing, take a break. I've literally taken months off before. I've taken big losses. I've also gotten big wins. Usually the losses are the longer breaks. It takes a while to get over that. But even when you win big, just take a day or 2 off. Make a deposit into your bank account, Just don't be in that euphoric state of mind that is going to cause you to take too big of positions and think you're on top of the world and you can't lose. That's also going to lead to you losing money. Go into every trade. This is really important, guys. Go into every trade knowing that the market is uncertain, right? You can and you will be wrong, and it's a part of the game. If you can get yourself to say this in your head before you take every single trade, and you can say, hey, This is an uncertain game that I'm playing. This is how much money I could lose based on how much I'm putting in and where my stop loss is, and I'm okay with that. And you tell yourself, okay, and you still have the confidence to execute each trade when you need to. That's how you get to where you can be profitable in trading, right? So you can't control the market. So all we can do as traders, we can focus on the things that we can control. So just to kind of sum this up, we can control the execution, right? We can have the confidence to execute the trade when we see that it's on, when we see that we have a good reward to risk. Can you stay mentally stable enough to stick to the targets that you have mapped out, not take profits too early, not take a loss just because it's bouncing back and forth where you entered, right? You make $2, it goes down $2, it comes back to $2, you say, I'm just going to get out. That you can't trade like that. You can't. You have to stick to the targets that you have mapped out. If you need help mapping out targets, watch my first video. Stick to those targets, right? Don't make your own random targets. Stick to the important numbers. Second, obviously very important, position sizing, right? We went over it. Third, have a probability-based mind that's ready to engage uncertainty, and that goes along with what I was talking about earlier. Know the market's uncertain, and you will be wrong. And do the steps that you need to take, like the profit-taking strategy and position sizing, to engage that uncertainty in the best way possible, okay? So these are kind of my best tips that I have to deal with emotions in the market. If you guys have any other kind of emotions that you feel like you struggle with, go ahead and just let me know, and I can maybe try to give you some advice on those. I've had a lot of experience dealing with emotions and kind of just self-learning. I've actually watched a lot of psychologists talk about emotions in trading, so I have quite a bit of experience with it. Just go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, and I'll try to give you the best advice possible. So that's going to be it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.